Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at My Friend Pedro. My Friend Pedro is an acrobatic platform action game that puts players into the role of an unnamed mask-wearing protagonist who is kidnapped and thrown into a meat locker by a mafia boss. You're awoken by a floating, talking banana who urges you on towards violence, and you begin your escape in a shower of bullets and parkour. My Friend Pedro is not a game to be taken seriously, nor is it a game that wants to be taken seriously. Plot is threadbare, thrusting you into a series of absurd situations one after another as you run for your life from various organisations of nameless goons out to get you. You escape the mafia and immediately gatecrash a bounty hunter's Christmas party right as you become the next big bounty, and so must fight your way through groups of enemies wearing Christmas jumpers, for example. It's fun and amusing enough, but honestly, it feels sometimes like the game is trying too hard to elicit a laugh. A lot of the jokes feel forced or over the top, with many not really landing for me, with a few feeling awkward even. It's not a huge deal breaker or anything, but a little goes a long way, and the absurd setups you find yourself in, your guide in this game as a talking banana for crying out loud, would have probably been enough to carry it, so it's a bit of a shame that the humour mostly misses the mark. But you're not here for the talking bananas or the silly jokes. You're here for the insane looking gameplay that you've seen in trailers and in GIFs across Twitter. And in that regard, My Friend Pedro is okay. Look, if you've got eyes and you're watching this video, you can probably see that I suck at this game. I knew from the first moment I laid eyes on it that I wasn't going to be very good at it in any way. And while yes, I can't make the game look anywhere near as fluid as it does in the trailers and whatnot, the controls aren't really doing me any favours. When you're feeling it and the controls are giving you no trouble, My Friend Pedro rocks. You can aim two guns in two different directions, activate bullet time to facilitate diving, pirouette to dodge incoming fire, ricochet bullets off of frying pans suspended in the air by a gunfire, kick barrels, swing from ropes, ride skateboards, and so much more. And there are moments when it feels particularly fluid, or you're able to string together some particularly awesome displays of bullet ballet, where My Friend Pedro feels great. But there are a few caveats to this, and a few moments where the game halts you in your tracks. Aiming, for starters, can feel a bit off. Because the game is so fast-paced, it has a lock-on. Aim the right analog stick in the direction of a bad guy, the line will turn red, indicating you're locked onto them. If there's more than one enemy nearby though, your lock-on can sometimes have a habit of drifting between them, making it difficult to aim consistently at a single target. Bullet time can be a pain as well. It's mapped to the left analog stick, meaning that you need to click the movement stick in when you want to use it to effectively manage large numbers of enemies or start diving around the map to make your kills more stylish and thus give yourself a better post-level score. Of course, if you're anything like me, you'll probably click it by accident a lot, preemptively bringing yourself out of slow-mo before you are ready and messing up your streak. It can also be a pain aiming objects to kick, as you need to aim them with the right stick, the same stick you're using to aim your guns, which can feel highly unintuitive. Apart from this, the game is pretty fun, even if I am terrible at it. For the first half of My Friend Pedro, I had a blast diving around levels, trying to perform insane stunts and attempt to make my killing look as stylish as possible. Unfortunately, in its second half, My Friend Pedro tries to be a bit too clever for its own good. The first few stages basically task you with scanning your environment and figuring out the coolest way through it, killing as many enemies in as stylish a way as possible. As you start getting further into the game, however, it tries to make stages even more elaborate. In theory, this should lead to even more epically impressive kills. Instead, you end up having to solve more and more complex puzzle platforming to progress. The platforming itself isn't particularly difficult, but the problem is that it breaks up the flow that made My Friend Pedro's other issues bearable. Instead of using the environment to your advantage to pull off impressive kills, the onus is suddenly placed on time jumps and platforming challenges, neither of which are My Friend Pedro's strong suit. My Friend Pedro gets off to a strong start despite some kind of awkward controls that feel a bit off without ever bringing the game down too much. Blasting through the early levels, trying to jump, dive and ballet your way through them as stylishly as possible is great, even if you're not very good at the game. But My Friend Pedro hits a wall in its second half when the levels start to get a bit too complex, moving the focus away from awesome looking action sequences to puzzle platforming simply to progress, which the game doesn't handle nearly as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave us a comment, like, or subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've got tons of awesome videos coming every week, including review impressions, indie game of the week, debate-driven top 5 lists, video essays, and our weekly podcast where we discuss games, gaming culture, and the games industry. We also stream 3 times a week at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. But most importantly, have a fantastic day.